Creators are told to think like entrepreneurs, but they need to train more like athletes. Because high performance isn't just about how hard you push, it's also about how well you recover, even if hustle culture has trained you to see slowing down as falling behind. So if you've been trying to build a sustainable channel at an all-out pace, this video will show you why taking a break might not be enough, how to identify the kind of recovery you actually need, and how to rebuild momentum without running yourself into the ground. The message we keep hearing from the creator and entrepreneur world is some version of the same thing. Work harder, create more content, put in more reps, outwork your competitors. We can see this in the Gary Vee era of entrepreneur hustle culture and in the way Alex Hormozi has shaped how creators think about output, discipline, and business growth. And look, discipline matters. Consistency matters. Having a good work ethic matters. None of that is wrong. The problem is when you get sucked into that high output model without questioning whether it actually fits the kind of channel, business, and life that you want to build. Interestingly, a lot of the hustle culture mindset has roots in corporate productivity thinking dating back to the Industrial Revolution, particularly the focus on treating people like machines. When you immerse yourself in that model without also building in recovery, you start treating yourself like a productivity machine, and you're not one. Because what you're doing on YouTube isn't just about video production, it's about sustained performance. You're not only making content, you're using your creativity, your willingness to be visible, your decision-making, your self-trust, and your ability to keep showing up when the numbers are low. And when something requires that much from you over and over again, you can't treat yourself like a machine that should keep producing at all costs. You need a model that accounts for energy, capacity, stress, and recovery. That's why creators need to think less like machines and train more like athletes. Athletes are trained around something creators are rarely taught. You don't build peak performance by staying at maximum intensity all of the time. You build it through cycles, training, challenge, and recovery. But creators often try to live permanently in sprint mode. That's why burnout is often misunderstood. When you start noticing early symptoms of burnout, you think it means you're not disciplined enough to keep up. But usually it means you're trying to build something sustainable using a model that doesn't have sustainability built into it. This actually clicked for me one day in the middle of an OrangeTheory fitness workout. If you've ever done one of these before, the whole format is built around moving between different effort levels. So there's base, which is challenging but doable, push, where you increase the intensity, all out, where you go as hard as you can, and recovery, which is an active recovery period that's meant to bring your heart rate back down before your next intense interval. You're not supposed to stay in all-out mode for your entire workout, and that's the part creators need to understand. Staying in all-out mode isn't peak performance. It's how you wear yourself down or get injured. And standing on the treadmill, dripping with sweat and catching my breath, it hit me. This is exactly what so many creators are doing with their channels, living in all-out mode, mentally, emotionally, creatively, and physically, and then wondering why everything starts to feel so heavy. Real high performance isn't your ability to keep forcing yourself past your limits. It's your ability to manage your energy so you can keep creating at a high level over a long period of time. And this is why just rest more doesn't always fix it, because burnout usually isn't caused by one thing. YouTube doesn't only drain your time. It can drain your body, your mental bandwidth, your creativity, your emotional state, and your sense of connection. So instead of asking, do I need a break? A better question is, what kind of recovery do I actually need right now? Because once you understand the difference between these 5 capacities, you get a lot more clarity about what actually needs your attention. You can stop guessing, stop blaming yourself, and start taking action to recover the part of you that's depleted. There are 5 kinds of recovery YouTube creators need: physical, mental, creative, emotional, and relational. And this matters because if you recover the wrong one, you can take a full week off and still come back exhausted. Your body may have rested, but your mind, creativity, emotions, or sense of connection may still be drained. So as we go through these 5, notice which one feels most depleted for you right now. That's probably the one your channel has been quietly running down. The first is physical recovery. This is about restoring your body and letting your nervous system actually come down. It means getting quality sleep, eating nourishing foods, staying hydrated, moving your body to help release stress instead of piling on more, and letting go of the tension you've been carrying. And honestly, this is one of the reasons I love a good deep tissue massage. Sometimes we don't even realize how much tension our bodies are holding until it finally releases. And now I'm curious, are you a deep tissue massage person or a Swedish massage person? I feel like people have strong opinions about this. But either way, your body doesn't always know the pressure is off just because you close your laptop. If your body has been running on adrenaline for months, you have to give it the recovery it's been missing while you were pushing through. The second is mental recovery. This is recovering from the mental weight weight of making decision after decision for your channel. As a creator, you're constantly making small decisions that don't feel small. What content to create, what angle to take, what the analytics mean, and how to make your next video 1% better. That mental load adds up in a way that's hard to see. Mental recovery is about reducing the load for a while, because a tired mind can make even simple decisions feel like a threat. When you're mentally depleted, a simple thumbnail decision can start to feel heavier than it should. And when your mind is carrying that much, your creativity usually feels it next. The third is creative recovery. This is restoring your inspiration, your curiosity, your sense of play. It's what you need when your ideas start feeling forced or mechanical. And creative recovery doesn't come from creating more. It comes from living, being present enough to actually experience your life. It's about savoring things like being in nature, music, reading, conversations, and whatever sparks joy for you. Because you can't keep creating from a life you're not really living. Now, physical, mental, and creative recovery are usually easier to recognize, but the next two are easy to overlook, and they're often the difference between feeling tired and feeling like you're starting to lose yourself in the process. The fourth is emotional recovery. This is recovering from the emotional charge of being a creator, the emotional reaction to low views and long stretches of slow growth, the comparison, the criticism, the self-doubt. Don't let an emotionally activated state become your content strategy. So many creator decisions, the random pivots, the panicked overhauls, the maybe I should quit spirals, come from making big decisions while you're in an emotionally raw state. Emotional recovery means giving yourself space to process the emotional weight of being a creator, so you're not carrying every disappointment, criticism, or comparison spiral into your next decision. And this is where the next kind of recovery matters, because when you're emotionally depleted, it's easy to pull back and carry everything alone. But isolation makes burnout heavier. The fifth is relational recovery. This is recovering from isolation, and it's the one creators ignore most. So much of this work happens alone. You're alone with the numbers, the doubts, the pressure, and the story you're telling yourself about what it all means. Relational recovery means coming back into real connection with other humans. It means being around people who know you outside your metrics, people who don't need you to perform, people who remind you there is a life beyond your channel. And it can also mean finding supportive creators who understand the pressure of this work, without making you feel like you have to compete, compare, or prove yourself. Because sometimes burnout isn't only a sign that you need rest. It's a sign that you've been carrying too much, completely on your own, for too long. If one of these five felt familiar to you, this is the kind of work we do here. Understanding the internal patterns that shape how you create, perform, and grow on YouTube. So if you want more mindset support for your creator journey, subscribe. And if you know another creator who's been running on empty, share this video with them. It might help them name what they've been feeling. So this is the mindset shift I want you to take from all of this. Recovery is not a break from performance. Recovery is part of performance. If your channel is draining your body, your mind, your creativity, your emotions, or your connection, the answer usually isn't to push harder. It's to restore the specific thing you've been running down so you can rebuild momentum. That's why the real question was never just, how do I rest more? The real question is, what kind of recovery do I actually need? Because if you recover the wrong thing, you can take the break and still come back tired. So take a second and ask yourself this. Have you been trying to build your channel in permanent all-out mode? And if you have, which of those 5 capacities do you need to restore first? Physical, mental, creative, emotional, or relational? If you're comfortable sharing it, drop your answer in the comments. You probably already know which one it is. Trust the one that came to mind. Focusing recovery there is how you stop treating your channel like an endless sprint and start training for the long game. And if burnout has been affecting your consistency, the next question is what's actually underneath that stop-start pattern? Because inconsistency is usually a symptom, not the root cause. So watch this next video on why you're not consistent on YouTube, which will help you see what's really driving it. I'll see you there.